UFC 327 has just wrapped up. Here is your full mount MMA recap. Tonight, the UFC dropped visuals of what the White House card will look like. The UFC also announced that Olympic gold medalist Gable Steveson has officially signed with the promotion and will make his debut at UFC 330 on July 11th at International Fight Week. Kicking off the main card tonight, Cub Swanson defeated Nate Landwehr via TKO in the first round. At 42 years old, Swanson officially announced his retirement following the victory. He walks away from the sport holding the record for the third most wins in UFC featherweight history, behind Max Holloway and Darren Elkins. Bilal Muhammad reacted saying, "What an ending for Cub." He followed up saying he's definitely unretiring. Aaron Bronsteter says that was one of the absolute best retirement outings you'll see in the UFC. Crazy respect to Killer Cub for an amazing career. Ben Askren reacted saying, "Wow, what an amazing way to go out for Cub. That's what all fighters dream of." Chito Vera says, "What a great performance. Congrats on a great career." Michael Chiesa writes, "What a swan song for Cub Swanson. We got to see his patent beautiful destruction one more time, and it was a vintage showing. All of us fans are blessed to have watched him compete for all of these years." Anthony Pettis says, "Incredible career and longevity. Happy retirement, Cub Swanson." Alan Joban says, "You wrote a beautiful story, my friend. Congrats on the career." And Ariel Helwani reacted saying, "It doesn't get better than that. Flawless performance from Cub Swanson. The end of an era." John Jones hugged Cub backstage before his walkout.
Get it, doggy. Woo-woo.
I feel fulfilled there. I was struggling with that. Fulfilled is the right term. I was so stressed out. I wanted to have a good send-off. I just wanted to have a good performance that I could be proud of. And then to do it like that, to have my family here, have everything, I feel blessed. I'm so blessed. I mean, honestly, I was just saying it. I didn't really feel that good today. I think the weight cut, a little bit in my throat and my ear. I just was having doubts, and it kind of made me make some adjustments to my game. So I had a very calm warm up, and so I was more focused on that than the fight, and just being like, man, just have a good start and pace yourself. You know, don't go wild. And it all worked out in the end. I mean, for me, it's very personal. I'm so grateful to have been an inspiration to some and to kind of like mentor people and inspire people. But ultimately, like, this was my journey, and I'm proud of where it brought me to. It takes a lot of pain and a lot of low points, but when you get through on the other side, it's pretty amazing what you can accomplish as a human. Well, you know, when I was coming up and I had nothing, I was so focused on myself and so selfish, and that's what you got to do. You got to sacrifice. But along the way, I learned to become a strong enough person to be able to handle being a father and a husband and a coach and a manager and a business owner and all these things while still competing. Like, to me, that shows like the strength of what I've become as a human, you know, and that's what I'm proud of. I couldn't have done that. The 25-year-old me would have been crushed of the weight of 40-year-old me. No, I wasn't expecting that. I was really worried about him picking up the pace late in the fight, and I was expecting him to come after me a little bit more, and I was trying to calm it down. And so once I kind of realized that he wasn't having a lot of success, I was like, all right, I need to start pulling the trigger. Peace, you know. This job is stressful, man. I'm always like, why do I do this? Yeah, I want to have a more mellow life. I enjoy coming to the fights and getting some excitement here and there. But man, 22 years I've been doing this, so somebody should have talked me out of it.
Dominick Reyes defeated Johnny Walker via split decision. Reyes versus Walker ultimately fell short of fans' expectations, as many anticipated a highlight reel knockout. Instead, both fighters relied heavily on lead leg kicks, with limited punches exchanged. The crowd was chanting, "This is bullshit" throughout the fight. Alan Jouban reacted saying, "This is a damn shame. One of the best cards of the year, and then we get this dud." Derek Brunson reacted saying what we thought Walker vs. Reyes was gonna be versus what it was, with a photo of Max Holloway knocking out Justin Gaethje on the left, and then Francis Ngannou vs. Derrick Lewis on the right. And the MMA Guru reacted saying, "If you didn't like Reyes vs. Walker, go and watch wrestling." No, I'm joking. It was a fight, and neither guy is from Dagestan or Chechnya, so we can all admit that. Both guys scared of being knocked out. Josh Hokit defeated Curtis Blaydes via unanimous decision in one of the craziest heavyweight fights in UFC history. Both fighters had each other hurt multiple times throughout the bout. At several points, Hokit even taunted Blaydes by giving him the middle finger. Afterwards, Hokit took a jab at Alex Pereira, saying, "Shama these nuts." Francis Ngannou reacted saying, "That was insane. I can't believe it went all 3 rounds. Curtis has the heart of a lion." Bilal Muhammad thought it was fight of the year. Mackenzie Dern says, "What a crazy fight for the heavyweights at UFC 327. Gilbert Burns says, "What a fight." Michael Chiesa thought it was the most technical heavyweight fight he's ever seen. Terrence McKinney says, "Josh is the Riddler. Bruh is pure entertainment. Curtis is a beast. Needs to mix in them takedowns again. 100 G's coming their way." Derek Brunson thought it was the best heavyweight fight he's ever seen. Kenny Florian called Hokit and Blaydes absolute savages. He thought it was a crazy fight, but still thinks Mark Hunt vs. Bigfoot was better. Ben Askren said, "If you hate Hokit's shtick, I feel bad for you because this fool can really fight." Ariel Helwani says, "Say what you want about Josh Hokit, but that was a memorable, gutsy performance. Feels like he definitely won some people over. Very impressive considering the jump in competition. Blaydes has been atop the heavyweight division for so long, much needed for the division." The MMA Guru says, "I'm not exaggerating. That might have been the greatest fight of all time. Blaydes vs. Hokit was the craziest brawl I've ever watched in my life." Tim Welch says, "Holy shit, that was badass." And Bo Nickel says, "Josh Hokit was the only guy I wrestled my senior year of college who actually tried to beat me and not just stall."
The force is too strong with me. Who said I don't have heart? Who said I don't have heart? To beat me, you're gonna have to kill me. That's what I showed.
Oh, brother, you're smarter than me.
Oh.
Dana White has announced that Josh Hokit will now face Derrick Lewis on the White House card.
Lewis. And I said, "Derrick, the president just asked me why you're not on the card. Do you want to fight on the White House card?" And he goes, "Of course I do." Tell the president, "Thank you, I want to do it." Then the Hokit card plays out, the fight plays out. He beats the number 5 ranked guy in the world, and Joe Rogan says, "Is there still room on the White House card?" We went back and talked to him. Hokit versus Derrick Lewis was just added to the White House card in the last 10 minutes. President Trump built half of that fight, and Rogan built the other half. Both guys have accepted and agreed for the fight. So we're adding one more to the White House. Hokit versus Derrick Lewis. Pretty bad how that played out organically during the fight. All right, I'll see you guys at the press conference.
Here's footage of Dana White telling Joe Rogan about Hokit versus Lewis. Paulo Costa defeated Azamat Murzakanov via TKO in the 3rd round, handing Murzakanov his first professional loss. Costa moved up to the light heavyweight division for this matchup, and despite the victory, Costa says he's still undecided on his future and isn't sure whether he'll remain at light heavyweight or return to middleweight. Gilbert Burns reacted saying Paulo Costa looking sharp at 205. Aaron Bronstetter says Paulo Costa has arrived at light heavyweight. He knocks out the previously undefeated Murzakanov. Light heavyweight is a better division for him. Bilal Muhammad thought Paulo looked good at 205. Tim Welch says good Paulo. Kenny Florian wants to see Paulo versus Khalil Roundtree next. Bo Nickel pointed out that Paulo fights really well versus southpaws. And And Ariel Helwani says big win for Paulo Costa. Let's go.
Oh, I just saw right now, but congrats Carlos. But I'm here as well because I know my potential and I train a lot for this, and I see every day by day on training. I have a great coach, great team, great partners. My fiance Tamara and my manager. She's my manager with Tiki, and we see this every day. And I'm very good against southpaws. I can fight at 185 middleweight, but at the moment nobody was available. The division was I will be stuck. So I look for light heavyweight. I saw Azamat. He was undefeated, tough guy. The coach say, he's very tough. Paulo, are you sure? I say, I want big challenge. I want to fight the best in the world, bring a great show. And then he was southpaw. I say, okay, I can beat this guy. And we train a lot. Johnny, my coach, he mapped my opponent 100%, and I knew everything, every moment, every movement that he made. So we did. I expect exactly what Azamat did. But the thing is, I was prepared for him, and I don't think he was so prepared for me. That's the thing. But he's very good. Size is just one part. It's not everything, right? Just it's good to look. You make it's good to make you look beautiful. But yeah, I mean, what the most important thing is the strength conditioning skills. Like if you can move fast and be have a power, knockout power. These things are what matters. I think I can improve a little bit. I felt a little bit my gas in the second round, but it's just the very first move up. So I think we can improve a lot. His southpaw, my leg gonna hit very hard. His left by head and leg and right leg. So this is one of my best weapons against southpaws. So especially for when the guy is lower than me. So I just knew. You know, I have a lot of names, but I have a beef with Chimaev. I call him Gourmet Chechen. I'd like to fight him. Or whatever UFC think he's gonna be an exciting fight.
And in the main event tonight, Carlos Ulberg defeated Jiri Prochazka via knockout in the first round to become the new UFC light heavyweight champion. Ulberg blew out his knee early in the round, but still managed to pull off the victory. Jamal Hill reacted saying KO with a torn Achilles is crazy, and yes, that's what that looked like. Aaron Bronsteter said unbelievable. Ulberg wins the title with a completely compromised leg. Jiri gave him an opportunity and Ulberg seized it. He is going to lose a lot of sleep over that one. He handed him a title on a silver platter, and congratulations to Ulberg for finding a way. Derrick Brunson reacted saying, Jiri, what in the IQ was that? Bilal Muhammad says, man, wonder if he'll need surgery on the knee and the title will be vacant. Ariel Helwani says, holy shit. Carlos Ulberg KOs Jiri Prochazka in the first. His right leg was completely compromised and he still gets it done. And Ayman Zahabi said if God wants you to win, there's nothing and no one that can stop you. Congrats to Ulberg. What a way to become champion.
It was my knee. I blew up my knee, but I mean, I never ever counted myself out. I knew that all I needed was that one shot and I ended up getting it. So I knew that Jiri was hesitant to come forward, and as soon as I land my left hand, he's going. But I gotta sort this knee out. So, but we're champion.
Man, I felt like mercy, you know. In that fight, I felt so sorry with him. That fight was won. I won that fight. Yeah, I had it. It was in my hand, and I just.
And that's going to wrap it up for the news. Thanks for watching. For daily MMA news and content, subscribe to Full Mount MMA and click the bell icon to be notified when we post video. Here are the 3 top comments from last video. The first one's in reference to Ilia Topuria saying that the #1 lesson he learned from his divorce was to always listen to his mother. It's from Saltine Walter. It says, let this be a lesson, gentlemen. When mom says she ain't no good, listen. The second one's from Akuma D2. It says, a video without seeing a streamer. Must be Christmas. And the final one's from Casual TW10. It says, Ilya Taporia's lesson should be, don't date Florida women. Those were the 3 top comments from last video. If you want to be featured in the next one, all you have to do is comment down below. And if you missed yesterday's news, click the video on screen right now to get caught up.